Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Public Works Department, our friend Andrew McFadden. And you're like, wait, is this a construction update? Oh no, my friends, we're still in wintertime. We'll catch up with Andrew real soon on that. But we're talking about public meeting on street parking regulations. Andrew, welcome back to the show. First off, how are you doing this fine January 2022?
Hey, Jeremy. Pretty good. It's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah. I'm used to talking to you when it's warm. So this is definitely a
Yep.
different atmosphere or space. But we're going to be talking about this public meeting coming up on Monday, January 31st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Andrew, set the scene up here and why we're having this public meeting to talk about on-street parking.
Sure. Yeah. So this is a culmination of a few different issues that just came up in the last year since I started with the city. So mainly, last winter we had some issues around the city, primarily in areas where we have higher parking occupancy on street. Of folks maybe not knowing that they have to move their vehicle every day to the other side of the street for winter parking regulations between November 15th and March 15th. And so because of that, both last year and starting again this year, we've had a few streets that aren't getting cleared as well as we'd like. And, that prevents emergency vehicle access and, folks getting through there. So we really just want to talk to folks. I think it's always a great reminder that, yep, we do have alternate side parking for the whole city, and then talk about some of the issues we've had, how other cities do it, and then maybe some potential solutions that might be able to help. Similarly, some of the other issues that came up on the prohibited parking side, some places on the city over time, the signs might not match the ordinance, or might have duplicate ordinances. So we just want to start cleaning that up, potentially add some flexibility in the ordinance so that we can be a little bit more responsive for folks. But really, we just want to talk about all the on-street parking ordinances we have in the city, talk about what's working, what's not working, and then hear from residents on what they like to do to improve it.
Yeah, and that's a great opportunity for residents to come in, comment, ask questions, and more. What are some options out there for winter parking? So what are some of the other municipalities around us doing when it comes to that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's lots of different options. Certainly by and large, folks around in the region do alternate side parking. Madison does designate a snow emergency zone kind of in their downtown core that limits that alternate side parking except for when snow emergencies are called. Some cities restrict all parking in the winter, so that's definitely kind of on the more extreme options. Some don't do it and except in snow emergencies, so for the whole city. So there's a lot of flexibility. If you get even further away, Minneapolis does like a 3-day, they one side, then the other side. I feel like there are lots of different variants. We don't want to get too far out of what everybody else does, just so that we can be consistent. But yeah, I was very surprised when I started looking into it of how many different variations there can be.
And why is it important that we do make the space for the plows to come through? Like why? Because they're like, well, the snow's going to melt eventually, but what
Sure.
really are we talking about here?
Yeah, and I think this year is a good example of we haven't had a ton of snow at one given time, but with some of the cold, persistent temperatures, that snow starts to accumulate after a couple of different snow events, and all of a sudden, you're if folks aren't moving, they're getting probably plowed in, and so that's a lot harder to get out. I know I've pushed out a few vehicles myself, just trying to help folks get out of some of those snowed-in spots, as well as it starts to restrict the road width overall, so that those snow berms just keep getting wider and wider, and then at a certain point, emergency vehicles have a tough time getting down there. So I think really those are the main, it's a balance between making sure folks have some place to park, but also we want to make sure the roads are clear and the parking spaces are clear so people can get in and out conveniently.
And people will have a chance to speak at this meeting. So you're going to talk and discuss about the issues. But the really important is here is we want to hear from you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, we can. I'm sure we will bore everybody with a close reading of all the ordinances, but really most of the time will be reserved for folks that, talk about specific problems. We might not get into very specific examples, but it's always good to kind of color the policy, color the ordinance with the real world examples of where it works and where it doesn't. And so We'll have a few of those. Feel free to bring them to us. And, I think really, yeah, we're just hearing, what's working, what's not, and potentially with some of the solutions we're offering, if folks think that might help.
Andrew, after this meeting, what will be those next steps then? So you're going to get a lot of great input. What will you do moving forward here, and what will the progress or the data that we collect? How do you proceed?
Yeah, sure. Yep. So we're definitely having this as kind of the first step. If necessary, we can definitely open up a survey for folks if that's, we like to have different mediums for folks to kind of engage with the city on this. And then I guess the steps after that would really be, we'll take back the information we receive. And then we do have a notify me page for parking. So if folks are interested, they can sign up for that. And then we'll take what we hear and go forward to council meetings for ordinance changes and kind of to clarify that with council. And so I'm sure that there'll be kind of a back and forth as we kind of fine tune this, but definitely from folks who are interested, if you sign up for that notify me, we'll push out when we would go to council, and then there would be a public comment period during that process.
Fantastic. Well, it's great information, Andrew. If people want to learn more, I mean, ahead of this meeting, we've got all the information online for how to sign up and take part in this meeting, whether it's virtual or not. But if people want to learn more about parking regulation, just general information, where can we find that?
Yeah, definitely the website. If you look online, you type parking Fitchburg, and we have a lot of great information on there. We also have a lot of winter parking pages that kind of explain the alternate side parking and kind of what that's all about. So definitely check out the website, and feel free, if you have any specific questions that aren't answered there, feel free to email me, Andrew.McFadden at Fitchburg. I'm happy to answer or call, happy to clarify things with folks to make sure that everybody can park on street, where they like, where they can, and that our roads are nice and clear for us.
All right, Andrew, always a pleasure talking with you. We'll continue to get the word out on this meeting, and look forward to hearing from you this summer.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Stay safe out there. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.